welcome back, y'all. Grand Finals of Double Duel coming at you live. It is the Valorant Grand Finals here, so you are going to be seeing Ohio State Scarlet. They battled their way through their side of the bracket, taking down Sussy players 2-1, similar fashion to what we saw from Ohio Northern, if you were tuned in earlier, also taking down Manchester University 2-1, giving us a Grand Finals, I think, of two. I mean, they made it here, so they're our best teams, but personally, I think two of the best teams that we could have had in this position.
It does kind of go to show, right, the level of strength that Ohio kind of has with its collegiate programs, right, between OSU, ONU, and there's obviously a few others to bring up. I'm not going to because it's nepotism if I do.
I mean, yeah.
One a bit further north, let's say, but we're going to be starting off this series on Bind. Split and Lotus have been banned away. Our producer, or our observer rather, absolutely loves that second map in the series we're going to be heading over towards, and if we somehow get to map 7, or map 3 rather, it's going to be Fracture, an odd final map.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the most unorthodox thing, but Fracture I generally tend to see as like what teams would favor as like a round one. You know, we saw ONU pick it round one. Obviously, that was coming off of the back of Manchester banning out Haven, so I'm not too surprised by the fact that we're going to be seeing Haven come out early. But again, Fracture, I expect is something very, one team like really likes it and decides to pick it. So seeing it as a decider will be a very interesting thing, especially as we've already seen what Ohio Northern has to give on this map. So I'm excited for this best of 3. I'm excited to see what these teams pull out. Hoping for all the stops, everything wacky and wild that we could come to expect, and even what we can't expect to be gracing our screens.
The only upsetting part to me, at the very least, is that we're not going to see any single new map in this series, guaranteed. Bind we did just see. Haven we have seen yesterday. It's the first for today that we're seeing Haven, actually. But we're not seeing any truly new maps for our eyes in this tournament. Lotus is one that I think we did see as well, but Split, Pearl, and Breeze... we saw Breeze.
Split and Breeze we saw earlier today. Pearl's the only map that we haven't seen this event. And as far as I have been made aware, I don't believe it has been played this tournament. And not too surprised about that. It's a map that it's not as like you need to maximize gimmicks on it as like a Fracture or something, but it definitely is a map that it has an unorthodox kind of style that you need to play around into it. So not too surprised that we have not seen it yet, but at the same time, still a little sad. I personally love the map. I think it's one of the best, not only to play, but also to watch. I think especially with the recent changes that have happened, or not necessarily recent, but the changes that happened to make it a little bit less of a, all right, you go B and you are just playing retake, or you are playing to hold from long. You can actually kind of fight into the site and play around some of the cover that's in there.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I do very much so like Pearl. I think it's an underrated map overall, but we're talking about Pearl, we're talking about this, that, and the other. Bind, we've seen OSU, or we've seen Ohio Northern, rather, play this map. The Northerners, they have played very well on Bind. Ohio State think that they can challenge it. What is your take on that?
I mean, I've heard some stuff from the camp. Obviously, I was able, being here in the arena, being around all of the players, not only just in interviews do I see them, but I'm allowed out of my cage sometimes to talk with the teams, talk with the individuals, see what's up. And talking with the Ohio State coach, also player at this particular moment, Bind seemed like something that they were like, they picked it into Sussy players. It was the map that they ended up losing. But if it's something that the team feels confident in, and it's something that they feel that they can really exercise their free will, work their way up into it, I could definitely see it being a really pivotal series starter here for OSU and for ONU. I mean, if you're able to pick it up, you're moving into your map pick of Haven, which is something that we haven't seen from them in a minute. We saw it obviously in day one. We saw a lot of Haven in day one. I see one of our producers, very, very happy that we had a lot of Haven on day one. Happy to be seeing a little bit more of it right now. You could describe it as euphoric. But it's something that we saw OSU or ONU do have a good output on, but I will say it was one of the maps that Manchester played them incredibly close on. And it's something that I may have a little bit of worries, as OSU is one of those teams that in raw firepower definitely stand, above Manchester. So could be some potential signs of problems if it ends up being that we go to Haven, OSU having that 1-0 advantage. But obviously we won't know until we get there, and we can't get there until we start. I'm looking over, it looks like everybody's in lobby looking, or at least waiting for a couple players to finish some of those pre-match warm-ups and whatnot. So it looks like we should be getting into this matchup real soon so we can talk about some of the compositions that are coming into it and talk about what these players have to show.
Darn Valorant players. They always just need their warm-up. Just have better crosshair placement, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It ain't the worst of it. I've worked multiple COD lands, and let me tell you, sometimes it gets lengthy in between those maps.
Either way, though, we're heading into the agent select screen. No surprises here, unless we do see that 1 or 2 hovers, or not. Yeah, still 2 hovers on Ohio Northern that are a bit on the goofy side.
I'll be interested to see if these ONU hovers come to fruition. The first lock-in for OSU, Randy on that Viper. Not something that I'm too real, I think is too out of the ordinary. Are going to be seeing a little bit of a role swap up here. We saw in some of those matches from yesterday, Bot favoring more of the smokes role, also being the IGL, a little bit of a lead with that ability to cut sight lines, instead opting for the duelist, going to be on the Neon. Plasmon with the second of that Waylay. Not super surprised to see it, but, always interested to see when those swap-ups come out here and there. For the side of ONU, if the hovers serve to be the final selections, it is looking like this lineup is what they're going to run into it. Still favoring that single initiator on Secrets, the double duelist, Paper Swan acting as that faux third. And Singularity with the solo Brimstone. And this is something that we talked about yesterday. And I know that you maybe bit out of the game for a second. But for you, what's it looking like seeing that solo Brim come out on Bind?
I mean, it's like we've been seeing so far. Last time they played Bind, they played Brim. And when they play Brim, they want to play fast. They want to play hard. They want to go. They want to go full throttle. And honestly, I'm less intrigued by the presence of the Brimstone, which is something that Ohio Northern has played, than I am by Ohio State's Scarlet playing the Brimstone. And equally so, they don't have a Sentinel on Ohio State Scarlet. They're going to be relying kind of on the Viper, I suppose, as a pseudo-Sentinel, right? With that wall, that snake bite, the smokes, using that as a sort of block rather than a smoke, maybe. It's an odd composition, 2 duelist, 2 controller.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've been seeing that pro meta favor towards, but like you said, no Sentinel, so no real hard lockdown. OSU, looking to try for something. They are going to be able to pick up the first. Randy from that long position, Bot able to find the second out of EMP. A little bit of wacky movement in the long position. Flames will be able to find 2, gets shut down by Hamburger. Singularity able to step in, finds the first, unable to get the full connection onto the second. Brings Hamburger low. No full picks yet. Bot just with that instant shutdown. That might be the rotate here for OSU. Paper Swan inside the hookah position. I don't know if they're aware of this, though.
I mean, they've got time to figure things out, right? They can always take the teleporter, which it looks like they're, veering towards that. They will run straight forward, heading over towards A, but, I mean, there will be Paper Swan, the chamber there to meet him not so long into the future.
Yeah, coming from the short position, though, this might not be something that they get a read on. It might have to be the sacrifice of Hamburger on site. Yeah, he's going to get picked out. Paper Swan still with 5 shots left in the chamber, but Bot's still up, and he's already hit a couple of crisp shots in this round. It is going to come down to the 1v1. A slow play here from Paper Swan, looking to clear out the back, and now I think the pin has dropped. He's aware of the player sitting in showers, but Bot with that stun still online could be very problematic. Paper Swan Could have been the initial tap. Is going to go for the stick. At least gets it to half. And
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, unable to get the shots. A sitting duck, a sitting target, but the shots for the Neon just off to the side, and the shots for Paper Swan sharp. They're able to collect round number 1.
I mean, that was just an obscene shot there from Paper Swan, right? Who's been great today so far. We saw their previous match, Ohio Northern. We haven't seen Scarlet up until now today. So we're looking at this, and Paper Swan, clearly the top performer right now. Hamburger, I believe, is the sub here. I do remember Rani, Waldy, and Balsamon from yesterday. So I think Hamburger is their sub. Getting 1 kill is a decent start here, and they're actually going to force buy this round.
Yeah, it's a weird combination of buys from both of these teams. As you mentioned, OSU opting to go for a little bit of a force bot, able to find the first onto Paper Swan. Might be looking to go for a little bit more on that Neon movement, especially gets the stun, but EMP able to move through it, gets the pick. And now OSU, they've got the bomb down, but they're stuck in the 3v4. So not close to the round win by any means necessary. This Viper Orb could prove pivotal. Rainy able to pick up the first. Plasma and Rainy combined for more. Instantly, the numbers are swapped. EMP, last man up.
What an unfortunate situation there for EMP. Unable to get the final blow. 1 HP on the Waylay on the other side of things. Might just have to save this Bulldog. There is just no time to go for anything. Maybe you try to get rid of one or two of these weapons. And the swing up Hamburger, though, long range with a weapon that ain't specialized for it.
Yeah, the shots from the Stinger all from downtown, able to take it, and I mean that's the mentality, and that's sometimes the gamble that you go for with those force buys. Sometimes it doesn't work, because we've seen it not work several times in this bracket, but OSU, they're able to pull it across and force everybody's economy into a really weird position. You look at the side of Ohio Northern trying to force buy into this themselves, with a lot of shotguns, a lot of close range, looking to use the defense's ability to position themselves where they please. Has a little bit of a help.
And I'm not sure if you noticed, but Ohio State, they're going for a fairly similar buy, but at the same time, they've got 2,000 credits across the board for the most part, with one exception. They have a Vandal in hand for one of their players. I don't remember which one. There's the dog.
Yeah. Paper Swan, gonna have to rotate, gonna have to respect it. Will start to look towards long, though. But now, OSU looking like they might group over towards A. And the misread for the side of Ohio Northern, sending 2 of those A players away over towards that B site. Blasman only 1 here for the side of OSU. And now they're starting to look into this. Our OSU, that A site. He's going to go for the double dash. Gets in. Nothing seen yet. He is going to pop the recall. Able to get away.
That's the go trigger, right? Waldy goes for the incendiary off in the corner. EMP will get 1 with that Stinger. Hamburger gone, but still, that was the go trigger. It's now a 4v5 post-plant scenario in which Ohio Northern are all clumped up together right here, and they have to find something to make it work with their worst weapons.
Yeah, the shots from Flames, able to get it, but Rainy with a big 2. EMP gets the response. We've seen Ohio Northern be able to work from this type of position. EMP will be able to get the pick onto Blasman, and there's really just no stall left onto Waldy. He is going to be the one with the Vandal, though. Or not Vandal, Phantom. So he's going to be able to work with this. EMP is tagged. This would be not exactly the player that you want to get that first pick onto, but he is going to be able to find it. Secrets with a little bit of a stick, but this movement from Waldy able to pull it across the line. That's OSU. Could have been a dangerous round, able to turn it around.
What an absurd clutch there from Waldy. That was next level, right? The Hero Phantom, I very rarely see those work out, but this time, this case, oh, how it did. Ohio State Scarlet are going to be happy that they spent that little bit extra on that little bit better of a chance, as Waldy goes from the bottom of the scoreboard up to 2nd place on his team. And now on the other side of things, of course, Ohio Northern, they are going to be able to get a fragmented buy, but this one is not going to be ideal, but it'll have to do.
Yeah, it's a force. It's not something that I'm the biggest fan of in this position. Able to get a couple rifles on, but still having to work with the 2 Stingers. But they are able to move up, get that convergent paths for the side of their Waylay. Flames able to get the opening pick, throws the wall up, allows for the movement back, no damage taken. OSU just down on players.
Yeah, this one might be a round given away. Nobody's able to win back-to-back rounds so far. It's going to be a bit dangerous late game if this continues to be the case. But Ranny, going to try to stifle that, nip it in the bud, get the team a third round win with an extra kill. 4v4 now.
Yeah, this wall allows for a little bit of a lurk in. EMP going to be the first one on the line. Waldy gets the trade onto Hamburger. But Singularity in this position, I don't think it's been read, and I don't think it's going to be looked at. Oh, that's slow, unable to hit, but Randy will be able to get the finish. It will be the Viper's hit popped, but Randy only 2 HP. It's going to be incredibly low. Just one stray bullet here or there from any of the weaponry that Ohio Northern has on the cards here. Randy is going to be going for this odd position.
I feel like that was a really fast Viper's play. I didn't realize. I mean, I had said before 5 and 2 at some point was Randy, so building up to that ultimate makes sense. But third round gets the ulti. They're gonna just save, it seems. Don't want to go too ambitious here, and hopefully maybe somebody will die because of the spike.
Yeah, Flames looks like he's going to be trying to get some exit picks. If they end up going out through this Showers position, and he might be able to find Randy, the 2 HP player, is going to be trained on it. We'll get the spot on the first. Ooh, a little bit wiggly on that aim, but is able to close things out in the end. But Waldy gets the response.
Yeah, it's not pretty there from Flames, but it'll do when it does. And, I mean, it gets a little bit worse when you lose that rifle. I mean, look at the situation here from Ohio Northern. If they had managed to keep that rifle, yes, I respect the decision to go ballsy. If they had kept that rifle, though, they're in a much better spot. Here, Secrets can go for the heavy armor and get that rifle while you grab the Bucky. It cuts your economy in a great position. Not a great position, but a decent position this round and adequate for the next.
Yeah, I don't know how I quite feel about the continued usage of these, what do you call it, half buys. It's going to start to work. Waldy able to find the first onto Singularity. Trades out the smoke counterpart, and the pick onto Secrets as well. Very good. Some big damage into EMP as well as they now TP over. Paper Swan, he's pushed up, but isn't going to be able to get picked by Randy, a player that we've seen a lot of good aim from, unable to close things out, but it puts him so low. This fight from Hamburger, it's essentially even, but Paper Swan able to get it. A 1v3 requires of Waldy, but I mean, we've seen him make 1v3s work in the past. With 2 of these players so low, it's definitely possible.
Got the spike.
Easily so, and that was the spike. Could I give it away? Just walking out, trying to find a different angle here for Paper Swan, reconvene with his teammates. Gotta both walk into Waldy at the same time. It's a beautiful swing together, and look at how the bullets, so heartbreaking. The spray control on that one surrounded the head.
Yeah, just around it, unable to fully find the pick, but that Ohio Northern will be able to get their second round on the board. We're able to start to get an economy rolling, but I mean, when you look at it, still going to have to get somebody to buy over Secrets. Or it is just going to be the give of Paper Swan with the ult in the back pocket. It is popped now, so it means that he's just going to be able to use that, keep the economy high and rolling. Hamburger, though, forced onto just the light shields.
There we go. Tour de Force called out there for Ohio Northern. Annie trying to go for it.
EMP pushed up close, though. I really like this positioning. Ranny, he might just get caught into it. If he isn't picked by Singularity, actually aware of it, the slow is going to come in, and he just gets picked out by EMP. That's the first pick back over to ONU. But we've seen work that OSU has been able to pull out in these 4v5s. Paper Swan, though, on this angle with the op, it could end up being dangerous if the flood through hookah ends up being the final call.
I've got your trail.
Seems like it will be the Seekers and the Smoke are going to stifle things. The collat through the Seeker onto Hamburgers.
Yeah,
unreal kill.
Great connection there. Paper Swan, he's just on the next. Isn't able to connect with that shot, though. Trying to go for the Headhunter, will not be able to find it. But Secret's able to find a big 2 onto those Waldy. A 1v4 required of this player. Molly, don't think it's quite gonna connect. Yeah, Flame's just able to continue sticking. Didn't quite get the bounce that it wanted. Waldy, he's able to find 2 there. Stop some of the save that ONU would have been able to bring through. It's not gonna cripple the economy, but it's definitely gonna force more of a buy out of these ONU players. But across the board, things still looking fine.
for the most part, right? You're seeing a couple light shields, but outside of that, everybody's able to get their full armaments required, ready and wet and prepared for this next round. Thought my audio cut out for a second as things got a little bit quiet. The main advantage here, other than that operator, is those 3 ults held by Ohio Northern. Particularly, they managed to keep the Seekers around.
Yeah, the Seekers and the Convergent Paths, that Waylay ult, both big uses. Oh, bot trying to get something done on the Neon. Just be able to stay out of the sightlines of these players. Unfortunately, gets double swung. Flames and EMP able to find it. Blaz, though, able to get a big response at 2. Could have been a lot of picks for ONU. Ends up making things even for that side of OSU. Get the spot onto Secrets, but Randy gets the pick onto Singularity, and that might be the rotate back. The only issue, though, it is going to be Paper Swan in that position of you. He gets a little bit of a spot onto Randy, but he hears the movement from another. Yeah, able to get that pick. It's going to be a sitter, no reason to overthink it. They know where the bomb is now. The Seekers pot from ONU. They're aware of where both these players are.
Balzamon able to grab onto the spike there, both players. Yeah, they're known positions. Granny drops. Balzamon actually grabbed the spike. I didn't even hear the TP, and I'm not sure if Ohio State did either. The plant is going to start coming down. And with this op, it's basically going to be a 1v1 for a certain amount of time on this retake.
Yeah, but Paper Swan is going to be able to regroup with Secrets. A 1v2 required of Blaz. And he is going to be staying in this close corner. He doesn't want to give a lot of those sight lines, a lot of the advantages that the op can have on those long sights. Yeah, aware of the positioning potential, but Blaz is able to find the first. Secrets able to close things out, and that's Ohio Northern starting to pull things back.
It's very interesting to me to watch as Ohio State, they seem to be dropping players early on, and then somehow whomever it is left at the end of these rounds where they're losing is still able to clutch up and get 2 or 3 kills until the very end of things. It's been Ranny at times. It's been Balzamon. It's been Waldy. Almost everybody has had a moment like that on this team, and I'm not sure what's causing the post round to occur like this rather than the whole round.
Yeah, it is a very interesting thing where it feels like after that first little bit, OSU able to wake up, able to get their picks in order. But now that side of ONU going for aggressive movements here. EMP into the pocket. Was slowed, but opts for disappear. Gets a lot of utility out. Bot able to find 1, but EMP able to find a big 2. Paper Swan with a 3rd. And now that OSU team only down to 2. You've seen heroics from Waldy, but Hamburger caught from behind. Secrets and Flames. Waldy all but surrounded. Able to find the first. Good shots onto Flames.
He's 7 HP, dropping low already. Swings up to try to find a duel, but EMP ready to catch that one. And this is an exception, right? The exception to the rule that I had just laid out of players seem to be popping off when they have the opportunity at the end of the round. Waldy currently hovering over that Phantom. I don't expect them to go for this fragmented buy. No shields is going to really set this idea back, in my opinion. But it seems like they might be committing to it. I don't like this, Emily.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive purchase here, especially with the Phantom choice over something like a No Shields Vandal. A No Shields Vandal I can kind of get behind, because if you just win the 1v1 and get the head click first, you win. With the Phantom, you do kind of have to play a little bit closer. They are going to be playing close, but nice shot for Branny, though.
Nice and slow
EMP able to fall back, finds one in a blast.
This way.
Even now, but they're making their way onto site pretty well. Orbital Strike forces them out. Nobody's going to be sitting in Bath anytime soon.
It's a great clear view. Aldi could have been put into a very precarious situation. Knows that EMP might be trying to sneak through this. Goes for the stick. Oh, the lineup's going to be perfect. EMP with the 1 shot onto Aldi. Bot gets that trade, though. 2v3. OSU with the player advantage, but Paper Swan, oh, he's not going to be able to get the perfect peek. He's going to be able to, oh, could have gotten the shot, but Bot able to close it out. Secrets required of a 1v3. He'll be able to find shots on the first. Damage into the second. Exact positioning of bot. Unknown, but ooh. Able to survive that one. 2 left. Flash is going to tell him some information. He knows that you players, that's going to be his primary focus, at least at this moment.
They don't have, there's no time. Has to get this last kill.
Yeah, and unaware of the positioning, bot just staying silent in the corner. Comes up big in the clutch, puts OSU within 1 of Ohio Northern.
I mean, this is nail biter neck and neck. 4 in a row happened just now for Ohio Northern. Now that finally has been broken for Ohio State Scarlet, the fact that they managed to keep their economy from entirely being in shambles the entire time is a miracle. And now they're coming back into this. They do have 1 stinger. It's not a great buy from Hamburger, but it's going to try to go into this next round after this with a slightly better rifle and committing, you know, minimal money to get that to happen.
Yeah, needing to keep things in check. OSU now with a very different look. I think a lot of these players move through showers instead of the 1 or 2 kind of spread across the entirety of the map. Bot and Balzaman able to get early in, opting for the TP, going kind of coast to coast. Paper Swan now looking towards that long position, expecting somebody to come through, but Secrets, he's trying to be aggressive with the TP. Ooh, we'll get into the corner. Paper Swan will find the first. OSU aware of the players still in it. Especially since there hasn't been a recall, they know that somebody is playing within those TP doors. But they're opting just to let ONU over-rotate and overstay their welcome. 3 of this
I like this.
Yeah, I really do. 3 of these OSU players opting to move away. Ranny's still close, so he knows if they end up going for the rotate or not. The dog coming through, it doesn't mean that Secrets is going to be let out. And Flash, I mean, it'll let him know about Randy's position, and he'll be able to get the pick. OSU up 1, or OSU down 1 in players. A 3v4 retake required. Ohio Northern. Oh, they do have the Waylay ult that could be devastating.
They're able to get out of the way there.
Yeah, both used, and the one from the side of OSU, much more impactful. Hamburger actually able to pick up a rifle at some point during the mid-round, and Balzaman able to find the second. OSU, they're starting to piece things together. Singularity up. And 2 players left for the side of ONU. Singularity, he gets the pick, but Balzaman able to get 1. Waldy, last man alive. He's been good in the clutch, but not enough at this point. Singularity actually unable to pull it off. I thought he had the time, but he didn't. Waldy plays the slow game perfectly, keeps OSU even.
I looked away. I thought it was absolutely enough time. I wasn't paying enough attention, I suppose. And I'm just it's starting to be difficult to not root for Waldy to get these clutches, consistently being put in these positions. But Ohio Northern, there's a reason why they're putting them in those positions towards clutch or kick for some of these players on Ohio State Scarlet, because their early rounds play has been so much better than Ohio State Scarlet so far. But that round, despite their early round good gameplay, they are now so far behind economically.
Yeah, it's really been the story of the set play versus the adaptation. ONU having really good early round aggression, something that you set up early. Flames and balls able to trade out each other. Yeah, that story of early set plays versus late game adaptation. Really, it's what's been bringing OSU across the line. And now the early plant. Balzaman in this close angle with the Bucky could be going for something. EMP able to pick him off. The response, Randy able to find 1. EMP up close, but does get taken down by Waldy. Secrets, last one up, another 1v3 required. He's able to find the first. That is going to be the ult going down, but he's going to jump in through the TP and just try to play the exit picks. Ooh, he eats the flash. He finds the first. Waldy, though, I mean, he's able to close it out. I mean, you look at those player cams, OSU, they seem to be having a little bit of fun with it. Just a little friendly banter there between the two, making fun of one of their players die into the fully blind secrets. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, if I'm in that situation, I'm making fun of them too. I'm not gonna lie. I expect myself to get made fun of, but OSU, another round on the board. Final round of the half, and it's a very weird purchase from the side of OSU, although they've been winning so much, able to get rifles, but not full armor across the board.
Use it or lose it now for this final round, of course. And look at this, they're committed pretty hard here to going A. They're not going to try anything too risky, especially because on B, look at this. I mean, look at what's on your screen. More importantly, chaos ensues. It's 3-2 in terms of kills, and Ohio State, they're favored.
Yeah, they're able to get the numbers necessary. Not quite aware of the positioning from Paper Swan, but the smokes are going to end up being okay. And Flames, still worried about a potential late lurk on A, is going to start rotating over, especially with the call of the bomb getting planted. No ults to speak of. Paper Swan just one away from his. I don't know how much of a difference that one will truly make. But now both of these ONU players, they are close by. Could start to hold things down. Wall in the run. It will allow Flames to get out. He's able to get the pick onto Waldy. Paper Swan and Flames just instantly, they combine for the 3. No real aggression being put out from the side of OSU, even at the half.
Yeah, it was a close one, that one, but I mean, it's comical how the moment Waldy goes down is the moment Ohio State struggle to find the clutch opportunities, and all of a sudden it's a collapse from Ohio Northern to cut out any chances left, and we don't have, you know, no more money, no more carryover from that. The back to the pistols, almost exclusively ghosts on both of these teams. I've been joined by my puppy as well.
Yeah, and the pistol round was very interesting. We saw OSU Scarlet really bring that one back, make a real conversation about it, but at the very last moment, Paper Swan able to pop off, able to get the last kill necessary, able to pull his team into the lead early. Obviously, looking at that timeline now, though, it wasn't the entirety of the story. OSU able to string a couple together in the response.
Smoke dropped. Look at how aggressive they're playing here, Ohio State. They want to walk forward. They want to get kills, and they're not going to be successful.
Yeah,
Flames rips them apart, picks them apart.
Yeah, not checking close. Really the problem there. Paper Swan able to find the one pick, all left onto Waldy. We've seen him do great things before, but yeah, no, he gets the first. And that's where it's got to start. But Paper Swan, I mean, he should have these shots. Yeah, able to close it out in the end. Another round for Ohio Northern as they march forward.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what's happening here. Like, there's so many small little mistakes that amount to everything. There's one player who doesn't check Flames, and all of a sudden Flames gets 3 kills. Partially because they're just not cleared, but also because nobody gets to them in time. Nobody flicks to that in time. I mean, how can you expect that? Your team has called it clear, and then all of a sudden everybody's dying around you. The Bucky is bot by bot. So they're going to go for a little bit of a force here to try to clutch this one up and try to make a hero play happen.
Yeah, I don't hate this purchase on the Neon. I think it's a pretty quintessential one, especially with the point that we are in the game where we're seeing a lot of that aggressive movement from the Neon becoming almost commonplace, not necessarily something exclusive to those high ranks. It's something that we've seen pretty much everywhere as far as things go. Information revealed by Balsamon.
Just a bit of poking at main with their eyeballs more than anything. Big chunk of damage taken out of Balsamon. Gonna have to give up that space. But look at this. Despite the fact that there's so much noise happening on both sides, the spike is happening nowhere in either, and finally looking to be committed, but immediately doubles back.
Yeah, they are going to be going towards B, but bot on this close position, he could be able to find one. He's able to find it. Knows about multiple damage onto Paper Swan, but the angle just a little bit too far. It allows for a little bit of time for rotates, but EMP able to pick up Hamburger. Now Waldy, last man up, a 1v4. I mean, it would have been slightly more doable, but you get your chest just shot in. And now it's ONU able to scrap those two together, able to start to put things onto the board.
It's just unfortunate there, right? It's the bonus. What can you really expect? Maybe you get 1 or 2 kills, and that's really all you can hope for, and that's what we did see there with the Bucky from bot. Try to go for that second kill, but there's just some things you can't really do. you can try your best, but it's going to be hard. And look at this. 4 players without heavy armor. EMP is going to be able to feast with this outlaw.
Yeah, this could be a very dangerous position for EMP. Bot opting to go for the judge instead. I like this idea, especially in the potential closer range, playing in that cubby in a main. Oh, and you decide to go here. Balzamon trying to draw attention. Flames, though, going to be able to read the positioning. And EMP, he's going to be able to get that one. OSU left in the 3v5 aggression from 2 of the players. EMP going to be stuck in between. Hamburger able to find it. And now
you gotta just hope to piece together some of these kills here and there. And Ronnie's going to be able to. Hamburger as well. The spike's been found. And look at this, one player stuck in this teleporter.
Yeah, it's a very weird position. Paper Swan, though, on this flank. Oh, not necessarily going to get read out, but definitely going to be spotted. The stun able to find Waldy combines. Another round for OSU. So able to get the response, able to get the round that they should have.
It's going to be a full buy here, though, for Ohio University. Or Ohio Northern. Oh, God, it's starting to hit me.
I know, right? You can't even go with Ohio University because that's a different college that neither of these are.
I'm going to start doing ONU and OSU or something. I don't even know at this point. But it's a fragmented buy yet again here for Ohio State Scarlet. The Bulldog gives me pause, but it's going to have to be the best that you can do if you're Ohio State Scarlet. And, I mean, it's best for it to be on your duelist, I suppose. That and the judge being on your duelist could be worse.
Yeah, both are things that they can definitely work with, and especially as space closing duelists, some of that range fall off. Oh, I was going to say it won't be a problem, but EMP able to pick up Waldy early, and now they could start to be a little bit of an issue. Rainy tagged down solo. Looking to use, yeah, the orb just to cross over. Bot doubles up on that A site, so it now is 2-2. The issue is that the weak weaponry of both duelists is all that you have on this A bomb site. Something out. Balzamon, he's able to find the first. That's equalized numbers, but not necessarily equalized weaponry. Flames trying for the stick out. Ball's able to read the movement. EMP able to find it. Bot as well. Now it's down to a 1v1. Paper Swan. Well, Paper Swan actually left in the 1v2. Hamburger up in heaven. Balzamon, yeah, he gets that pick. The 4K with the Bulldog. To really close things out.
I was about to say, like, if they had lost, I was going to be like 3K from the Bulldog. It's a beautiful effort. Can't believe they had done so much with just such a crappy gun, all things considered. Gets all the way to 4 and wins the round for the team. That one sets Ohio Northern back, and yet again, so often in this series, at the half, towards the midpoint of that first half, so many times we are at even standings, 8-8. Earlier it was 3-3, then it was 6-6. This match is night and day close.
Yeah, it is dead even from these two. Aggressive flash from ONU. It's gonna be used, but Balzamon taking a pick out of Flame. Taking a page out of Flames' book, playing it close, using one to bait, so they're aware that one's gonna be flashed, not aware of the second, and they've already got bomb control.
That's devious. I didn't even realize the spike had been claimed with that one. There's still not many smokes for the side of Ohio Northern, right? It's just going to be that brimstone. One does go down to hopefully get them that spike. If they can even play for this. Look at all the spam damage being sent out. They still have the Viper for Ohio State to help them distract some things, cause some chaos, and there we go. Bot has found that kill. 2 players left for Ohio Northern, and they don't have access to the spike. Not even close.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a flawless round.
Yeah, playing completely silent in the corner. They weren't aware of the positioning because after those first 2, Balzamon and Bot, they flipped position. So Bot playing the close angle, Balzamon opting to drop back and just making no noise throughout the entirety of that spam. Flames wasn't even aware that there could have been a person there. Was able to get that pick. Now, ONU potentially battling from behind. Flames is going to have that ult on board, and it looks like it might be a position pulled either at the start of the round or maybe just a little bit later. Double Bucky buy for the 2 duelists.
Blinded.
Like you said before, the Bucky's not too bad for the Neon, but you can't not rely on it this late into the game. when everybody on the other team has rifles. It's just going to be so dangerous, especially on a map like Bind, where it can be so scary. Look at that. That's just what's going to happen. Hamburger, the coach comes in, finds one kill. The Bucky's not even doing any damage at that range, despite how close things are. Bot finds a cleanup kill.
Yeah, Secrets, he'll be able to find 2, though. And Balsamon able to pick it. Paper Swan, though, with the response. But again, the bomb is down in an unopportune position for Ohio Northern. And that TP, it's going to make them aware. Both these players playing close onto the bomb, trying not to let ONU get this without a little bit of a scuffle. And OSU, they're moving as a duo. They're moving left and right, aware of the potential of a player on this flank. It is Singularity, and he's going to face check into 1, not exactly into 2, 3 HP. Balsamon gets it shut down. Last one up is going to be the Chamber of Paper Swan, 70 HP, so it is a 2-tap with these two players. Oh, they're playing split enough. Paper Swan able to find the first. Balsamon.
There's the ulti here for Balsamon if they want to go for it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst choice in the world. Something just to secure the round for sure. Especially as Paper Swan now trying to get lost. It's going to be close, and I think he's read the positioning, but it's a matter of the shots. Paper Swan able to find it. And just like you said, at stat line, we are all tied up at 9 apiece. It is truly back and forth between these two.
It's ridiculous, this one. I mean, there's still not going to be a full buy, unfortunately, for Ohio Northern, right? They're going to get pretty close, but going to have to be satiated with a Guardian or something of the sort over towards Flames, as Balsamon going to look at the operator for one of their teammates, and there we go. Bot's going to be the one to wield such power, and I mean, with the overdrive, Flames isn't too upset to not have a rifle, but regardless, it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a great potential sight, especially after you just won the round. Bot playing it tight on this A main, not wanting to allow for too much space to be taken for free by ONU. They need to use that utility, or they need to face the boomstick. But ONU, they're actually going to start to pivot away.
Yeah, I mean, there's no noise happening really many places. It's just Hamburger jump peeking to see if anything's going on. 1 point away from that ultimate, I think, was the call there. There we go, the overdrive, but Randy shuts it down. Paper Swan trying to make some noise happen here, but Randy with 3, Viper's Pit on the spike. Again, they keep dropping it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good ultimate ability. It's very powerful. It provides a lot of this impact. And, I mean, it's a great equalizer. If OSU were behind, they definitely aren't now. But in this point, they had the advantage. Secrets will be able to find that. Bot still with the op. He doesn't want to play into the pit.
I've got your trail.
How powerful distance is, and Paper Swan able to find it. Seekers popped left into a 2v2 are OSU. We know both these players are close, trying to get the spam damage. Paper Swan will be unable to find it. Secrets actually with the pop onto Rainy, so it's going to be left down to Balsamon. A 1v2 required of the Waylay, but with 15 left, he knows they have to come to him.
We'll be able to slow things down with this one. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. They're going to try yet. I don't think they can get into the site anymore. Just has to live. That's 1 kill. They don't have the spike. Needs to get this kill in order to win the round of the choke, but it's not to be. The clutch comes in for Ohio Northern.
Secret's able to move just fast enough and able to get that final pick onto Balsamon. It's a costly round for sure. A lot of ults being invested. You're still able to buy up, so you're not too far behind. Bot gonna have to opt for the Guardian instead. The side of ONU, their money isn't perfect either. 2 of these players getting questionably low. 3 of them will still have enough of a bank to buy into the next. We're tied even at alts too, so nothing really to... No one really in the pure lead, but I mean, trying to play this aggressive again. At some point, this is going to be noted, and at some point, you've got to change your plan up.
And he's playing a really aggressive angle there. Just playing into catch Paper Swan, I believe, who's been consistently going up this angle. Might be aware of it. Yeah, you can see that little triangle looking to the left, looking to the right. Aware of this possibility. Yeah, aware of it, but doesn't catch it.
Say aware of it, but just not aware enough. Seeker's getting popped from the side of OSU. Hamburger's ult coming out. Balsamon able to pick off Flames. Bot not opting to go for the rifle. Gonna stay in close in the Guardian. Trust in the pick, but Singularity and EMP, they each find one. And now OSU in this mid-round. They have found something. Yeah, Bot, he's able to get that pick. Gonna be able to find the rifle and able to get out fast enough so that EMP isn't able to find that trade.
Yeah, we'll be able to grab onto this spike, it seems, as both Brimstones are holding on to this A site. Is this going to be a win? Yeah, Singularity able to find it onto Waldy. It's now a 2v2 and the clutch is available on A site.
Yeah, Bot moving around the world, but yeah, they are going to opt for the plant. So it is going to be the TP. Potential movement here for Ranny, but both are going to opt to double up ONU in U-Hall. Trying not to give OSU just a free pick.
There's the orbital strike. If they're unable to get this kill, they can, and will it be the second? The choke there, another one. The pressure is starting to get to these players as EMP finds that one. Is it gonna be the best crosshair placement? And it's a clutch there for Ohio Northern.
Yeah, just able to scrape it out. ONU brings it up to 11 within 2 of being able to take map number 1. OSU now forced onto that lower buy, forced to, you know, kind of try to figure something out.
4 ultimates overall in the lobby, 2 per team. Waldy has the orbital strike, so does Singularity. This favors Ohio Northern, if I had to say. Ohio State can slightly delay things, but I mean, despite the fact that it's been 3 for 3 in this game, has been tied for most of it. This 11-9 scoreline is getting dangerous.
Yeah, ONU opting to freeze. They want to let OSU make the first move, and I'm not opposed to this because they definitely have been in OSU, as you can see on that minimap. Ranny trying to make that move up, maybe to get a spot over towards that B long. Gonna get spotted by Paper Swan. Shots will come through, so a little bit of damage, but Ranny is able to fall back. The heal will come through, back up to full HP.
Look at all the space Bot is claimed over towards Showers. We'll be able to set up an ambush here if they're not ready for it, and it seems like they are, and it's just some damage, just some chip. 5 HP for Flames. We'll be able to walk forward and bait for his teammates.
Yeah, it is big damage, but that orbital strike coming through.
Singularity actually kills Flames, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of, I don't know if that was a miscomm or a misclick or whatnot, but the placement just inopportune for the side of ONU, and that, oh, the fact that that the fact that that flash missed is so bad. They know about the one player in Showers, but they don't know if anyone is in this back site. They can probably infer it, and that damage, I mean, it's gonna tell you something.
Look at how scared they are. Balzamon is gonna find secrets. Singularity, the only one to remain. The bottom of the scoreboard, but still able to find 1. It's 2. Halved on the spike when Hamburger clutches up. The coach comes in. The coach cleans house.
Yeah, able to close that one, bring it across the line. OSU maybe gonna bring us tied back up at 11. And then things start to get really spicy, but if they're gonna do that, they're gonna have to do it with lackluster weaponry across the board. But honestly, for both teams, it's gonna be lackluster.
I mean, yeah, it's not great here. The economy has been beaten down, bruised, and broken this whole time. Ohio State barely ahead. They've got 2 rifles to the 1 of Ohio Northern. I mean, make it 3 or 4, but it's not pretty as this tour de force comes through.
Yeah, the Flash will be able to connect onto Paper Swans. They know about a player here. You could probably infer that it might be the Chamber, but I know he's been favored over on that B bomb site. So it'll be interesting to see how these things play out. Some shots coming in from Hookah, so they know that at least one has got to be there. I don't think they expect the full 4 about to descend on to the B bomb site. Flashes and as such, smokes come through. Randy able to find a big 2. Unable to get spammed out.
There was a dash on site, but I think it was recalled. Yeah, you can see the Waylay still heading back over into Hookah. Right about to jump on top of Randy, if anything. There's no team that's covering it.
And Randy with a big spam onto secrets. Makes it 3 out of 5 collected for the Viper. The smoke should be nearing its end. It will. The wall will go up in its place. Bot ready for a potential clash into EMP, but opts to stay a little bit hidden. Opts to make it so that EMP has to make the first move.
I mean, look at this. It's a predator in waiting, hiding under. It's like an antlion ready to pounce, drag its prey under the sand. The sight been caught in as a jump peek for Bot. Finally gets that kill in Paper Swan. Goes for spam shot, but there's just no more time. No saving worth it either.
Oh, really impactful too. Bot able to close it out. Awa might end up making a bit more of an impact than OSU was really wishing for. Actually, not really. It'll end up being that everybody's able to get rifles. Hamburger should have the opportunity to buy over full armor if that is the choice. At least refresh, it will come through. OSU with a pretty confident buy. ONU's not bad by any means. Only the Guardian, really the weaponry being lower. Some of the light shields might come into play with all the phantoms on the board. But again, we are tied at 11. Winner of this gets not only round advantage, but also guarantees OT.
It's been even this whole time. I hate to keep mentioning it. Ohio Northern are going to set themselves up an advantage heading into the overtime potential rounds as Hamburger gets another Paper Swan, has been taken out of the fight. 1 ultimate per team now that the Neon is gone for Ohio State Scarlet.
Yeah, Bot has really been hanging on to that overcharge for a long time. Yeah, but the utility from ONU, it looks like it's going to be a fake. Ranny potentially sussing that out, aware of the potential. Gets the shots. Wall's not going to come down, but they are going to get the smokes and the neon wall. Here's all the utility being used for the explosion onto site, so should be calling the rest of his players over. It will be on the rotate. Hamburger wary of a flank. We see multiple of these players pushing in into the position. EMP able to pick up the shot onto Ranny. Now OSU, they have to battle from the back. Wally able to find the first, able to get the second. Nice shots there.
He's back in clutch mode here, Emily. He's found 2 kills, and now with the tap on the spike, Baldy has entered clutch mode. 3 kills to bring them over the line in a 4v3. Impossibilities made true.
Massive 3 to find there as well, and it puts, again, OSU 1 round away from taking the map, taking the lead in our series. ONU, look at those finances. Paper Swan, I mean, he's not going to be able to go full armor without sacrificing some of that util, so has to go for the regens. Flames going for the full shields, might be going for a judge. I know that's going to be within his price range. Unsure what the final call may be. Definitely going to depend on whatever the call for the round is. Looking for the regens. Yeah, regens and the Bulldog. Not a horrible play, but OSU should be kitted to the 9s here. ONU, they're going to have to fight their way up.
And with this outlaw, he'll be able to shred through all these players. I don't think anybody had any heavy armor, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
I was going to say there might have been 1 or 2, but
it's been light on the shields. No pun intended. As 1 spot, it's a beautiful shot from EMP.
Yeah, that is really nice. He's gonna be able to get out. Popped the recall as well. I think an unfortunate misclick maybe, because definitely did not want to use it. Get back closer to those who are left. But OSU, they might have read this play. Ohio Northern, under a minute remains. Most of their players are over here on this A site. Now we could be seeing a big clash here. Bot with the movement will get the spot onto the first. Doesn't know about Paper Swan. Will turn and run. Gets gunned down by the 2 in showers. Isn't unable to get the first. Waldy with the trade. Not even the trade, the shutdown. An unfortunate bounce from the Molly. Randy.
Teleport's ready.
He's on that A main position. He's going to be able to get a pick onto EMP. Last man up is going to be Paper Swan. Has the ult in the back pocket. Paper Swan gets slowed. It's going to be Balsamon able to find the final pick. OSU, they take map 1.
And they're not even satisfied with it. You can see on their faces they're a bit concerned. They're a bit sweaty. off of that win. And reminder, that was the Ohio State map selection. Map 1 was their call, and they won it by a hair. Ohio Northern, they don't look too happy either, if I'm going to be honest, but I think that they can feel a little bit more confident heading into their map selection, given how much fight they had for the opponents.
Yeah, they are definitely like putting up a fight up against ONU. It's going to be both of the Waylays being your mirrored MVPs of each team. Balzamon getting the overall MVP, but EMP having a major scoreline, a major impact across the entirety of that map, as is Paper Swan. But in the end, it was scrappy. It was definitely back and forth, but OSU able to bring it across, able to pull out the map 1 win.
So close, this matchup yet again. The last match we said it was close, and in the end it didn't look too close, but it definitely fought out close over time. This one, though, I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit closer than the last one when there's no breach, or not breach, bind in the map selection.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm very excited to see the rest of this match play out. Obviously, our grand finals, two of the best teams that we have here, they've both made their way up to this position, vying for the ability to call themselves the Double Duel Valorant champions. We're got to a little bit of a short break between maps as both these teams reset, get themselves ready. When we return, it'll be more Valorant Haven coming up as map number 2, OSU looking to close things out.
And we are back with your regularly scheduled programming. Of course, 1-0 favoring Ohio State so far. It's been a close bout, that first map. Second map heading into it. It's the pick of Ohio Northern on this one, isn't it, Emily?
I mean, it's a great response, or it's a great opportunity for them to make a response. OSU, as we talked about, 13-11, scraping that one by. And now, ONU, we've seen them on Haven before. We've seen them look good, but we've also seen them look shaky against some lesser opponents. So it could be either a common ground where they let everyone get a certain level of space, but always manage to close it out, or with ONU being the potentially better team, we could be looking at a very, very different outcome. And already, I mean, looking at the locks from ONU, nothing, well, a little bit of a shift up on the side of ONU. Flames opting away from that secondary duelist, opting more for the breach if the hover is to be believed for the side of OSU. Ranny returning to the Viper, easily one of the highest impact players. A lot of 2 and 3Ks being found on site holds. So not very surprised to be seeing that one. Still waiting on one of those OSU players to start. We'll start the hover. I'm interested to see if this is what ends up being the pick.
And I'm happy on a personal level to see, the breach. I feel like I don't see enough breach. Breach is one of my favorite characters to cast. I spent a long time. As a fun fact, I spent a long time trying to learn every character's ability names, ultimate names in this game as somebody who hadn't played a lot of Valorant when I first started casting it. And Breach was one of the hardest ones for me, so I have this, I feel like special, what's the word?
Special, like, attachment to him?
Stockholm Syndrome, yeah, but like...
That's the word.
Like, just stuck with him now. As ISO is actually going to be what Balzamon's going to go for here.
Not too surprised about that. I mean, we saw Balzamon on the Waylay being played more as like that secondary duelist. Not super surprised to see another secondary duelist coming in. ISO, one that we've seen a little bit more play from, especially from the side of like Manchester with Saint, obviously providing a lot of impact on that in the last series that we broadcast. But now, it's going to be seeing a different person picking up the ISO, picking up the sticks, trying to show the impact that this agent can have.
Like observing, I'm trying to think of other opinions. We do see Sova on both of these teams as well. Hamburger, of course, staying in. The coach for Ohio State continuing to play for the team. What's your take on the Sova on both sides? I feel like it's pretty expected, but what do you think?
I mean, I feel like it's bog standard. Like, there isn't really a hard scan character that you could pick into this that would be better. I feel like Fade has limitations on this map especially, and with the open skybox, a lot of Sova lineups, they really can be set up. Hard to see Bot with that prep dash, so you know OSU looking for something fast. Already going to be moving towards the garage position. Shoots out the trip, and there's 2 on the C site, but they are trying to go fast. Bot won't get the spot. Balsamon with the trade. EMP gets shut down. Randy on that lurk, able to find 1. The screen acting as that smoke. And now OSU fast with the plant already onto the post.
And look at how much space they're taking right now. Randy choke a little bit, but gonna lock it in the end. Garage is where Singularity will find himself as players surround him on all sides. Ohio State, they took so much space. They played so aggressive with their positioning. It's a pistol duel. Nobody dealt any damage. And finally, the kills happen almost same frame as Ohio State. They get that first pistol.
Yeah, the shots from Singularity, they're going a little bit wide, but able to close things out. He gets the pick, but nothing more to really be said. OSU looks like going to be buying this. Well, might be buying this one incredibly aggressively, trying to keep things up for the side of ONU, not opting to go for quite as much of a buy-in as we saw in those last couple of maps, still opting to maybe garner a little bit of extra utility, a little bit of extra weaponry if they try to take this. And for that side of OSU, it's looking like a fast B play.
Yeah, look at that shock dart lineup. It went straight through, covered anybody who was sitting down main, just to help out a little bit. Balsamon taking a ton of damage. There's the Stinger, able to get that spam kill onto Singularity with a one-way smoke as the assist. Waldy turning away right when the swing is about to come in, and Paper Swan able to grab a Spectre thanks to it. But there's still kills coming around on all sides, favoring Ohio State Scarlet.
Yeah, big 3K here from Bot on the Neon. We saw some of that impact getting a little bit neutered at the end of last. A little bit of a preemptive swap on those cams. Bot able to pick up the 4th and bring side of OSU up into the lead 2-0.
Now the full buy able to come in. This should be the bonus round coming in for Ohio Northern, but they are a little bit lacking in some of these shield healths. They did manage to get a few kills in these previous rounds, so they're not in the worst shape one could imagine. Hamburger goes for a hero vandal a little bit. Very ambitious on that one. If they're able to grab a few rifles off this one, they might be able to make something work, especially with that outlaw if they're able to get some chip damage with something like this Viper.
Yeah, we do see those light shields here and there around, going for lights and regens. Obviously, it's, you know, good buys for fulls, but unfortunate because of the damage that this outlaw can output.
Take flight.
Secret's popping the drone now, looking for a little bit of information. Both the drones will see each other pass, and they'll know that there are players that are close.
Actually, I don't think he sees Secret.
Yeah, he might have missed it towards that very end, but Bot getting a lot of noise information, getting a lot of calls on people moving around. Singularity going back into the site with Paper Swan. It will be the 2 of them inside of this C site. Balsamon trying to make some noise, but Paper Swan going to be able to get the spot. Will get blinded out. Goes for logs. Will get taken down. Singularity, last one in the site. He'll be able to find the first. Aldi trying not to drop. EMP will be able to pick up 1. Bals with the trade. Singularity. Shots running a little awry. Balsamon able to get it. Flames tagged so low. Secrets. And his last man up. Full HP. Will not get ticked by the Outlaw, and Bot on that very low HP. Unknown positions. He's going to choose to bide his time and wait. Secrets potentially aware of the potential in Garage. But he's going to be ready for it. But Bot, a little bit sharper on the shots. Moves in. Is able to pick that one up.
Disgusting little sheriff shot. I thought that was going to be a round to Ohio Northern once it became a 1v1, but beautiful clutch up there from Bot. Very good patience as well, hiding in the garage, waiting for somebody to peek out, waiting for somebody to present themselves, but instead goes out right when needed, right when it was necessary to aid the team earlier before that last kill even. But that last kill, most visible, is now the full buy for Ohio State. Scarlet will come in. The economy will permit another after this round, and Ohio Northern not as lucky.
Yeah, I know. They're going to be forced onto a very weird monetary position. EMP trying to play this aggressive, but Bot, he'll be able to find the first. Backs up. Does not allow himself to get picked on that early aggression. Secret's still going to be on the line, but the rest of ONU getting a little bit scared as to what could be the potential play here for OSU. Bot and Hamburger going to be moving through his garage position. Bot trying to lay down some suppressive fire, allowing the rest of his players to get over. But for the side of ONU, I mean, they've started to group over, so this could be a relatively fast retake if they choose to do just that.
And they hear the spike goes down. 5 players remain. One of them has been spotted and revealed through the walls, but that Viper smoke will delay things. Paper Swan not aware that somebody's just waiting right around that corner at any second now. There goes Bot swinging around. That's one. Tries to go in for the repeat. Will be considering the next, but 40 HP might be trying to just direct attention.
Nice shot from Singularity. Hamburger, though, will be able to clean it up. Last man up is going to be that Omen, unable to get the pellets onto Randy. It's another good round for the side of OSU. That is a really nice start. If I'm not mistaken, 4-0 for that offensive side.
And this was Ohio Northern's map pick. Reminder, this is a dominant performance early on. I don't think I saw Ohio State Scarlet win 4 in a row with one exception in the previous map at any point. Now they're taking it in strides. They've got 3 ultimates held on, thanks to these plants, thanks to these ult orbs that they've been able to get, and thanks to the fact that Waldy sitting over there on Omen hasn't gotten a kill yet and isn't taking it away anybody else's ult points.
Yeah, he hasn't been necessitated so far. Is going to be a very, very long match. Ranny able to get the pick onto Singularity as the rest of OSU starting to move towards this A site. Paper Swan, he'll be able to get the opener of Bot. With that out from Balsamon, unable to find the impact.
Does manage to survive that one, the Huntress Fury. It goes through, but it doesn't seem like it's hitting a single player. It comes out on the other side. EMP has found a target, and Secret's also found one with that Huntress Fury aforementioned, but only one remains, and Flames will begin Ohio Northern's return to the field.
Yeah, able to pick up their first on the map. And now, granted, it was a different lineup. It was a different look for OSU. But the last time that these two teams clashed, it was on Haven. And it was a 13-10 affair. A tight performance from ONU. Almost able to take the map off of OSU. But in the end, falling just shy. I will note that that did come at the expense of a monster performance from Bot. A 40-14 affair on Clove. So obviously some changes to be made in the lineups, in the internal structuring of this roster coming into the match.
And one thing I want to note, despite the fact that Wally has been so good in these previous maps, not necessary, and that's a big reason as to why he's not getting nearly as many kills. Sitting at 0 right now has been more supportive than in the past, and the rest of the team has been picking up, not necessarily the slack, because there's not much slack, it's just they're getting the kills first, like this Bot with 2. EMP able to trade back Secrets as well. Waldy, though, has finally gotten on the board with a kill, and Rennie as well. It's going to be the A site as Paper Swan not close enough.
Yeah, and also just stuck on the operator. It means that the impact of a retake from him is going to be incredibly neutered, unable to really work off of that. The ult getting popped just for security. Ranny trying to get that next one online as soon as possible. Bomb plant down. Paper Swan just going to look to save. This should be number 5 for OSU.
I don't think this Viper's Pit was necessary here, Emily. I think that you were probably going to win this one anyways. I don't expect Paper Swan to go for, a retake solo with the op. It seems like it would have been an ambitious move. But just to confirm, I do understand your thought process. Waldy about to walk right into this shot.
Yeah, that's a pick. That's a good bit of damage that Paper Swan could continue to execute here onto the side of OSU. They are going to go hunting. I mean, they know where he is. Unsure if they're really going to be able to get to him in time. Yeah, looks like it's going to be called off. Not quite close enough to be able to get that pick. It's another round for OSU, so they continue their march forward. Gonna allow Paper Swan to keep that off, but I mean the rest of the team, they'll be able to mostly buy up. Apart from Secret's gonna have to rely on something a little bit lesser than ideal as far as weaponry goes. The side of OSU, though, still confident, still a lot of money to be had. Finance is not quite dire enough yet.
Yeah, I mean, there is enough money here to get a rifle for Secrets on Ohio Northern, so they can get that one through. That save really helping them out here. 5 rounds for Ohio State Scarlet, and that's going to give them a little bit of pause in this one.
Yeah, Paper Swan finds a really good opening pick, and EMP trying to go aggressive with that overcharge. Will not find anything just yet. Spike gonna go down, but Singularity finds the pick onto the march forward of Hamburger. Waldy could come under fire here. The flash won't find anything. Alsamon, he's played this aggressive EMP. Yeah, with the shotgun gonna be able to play in close. Randy with a nice 2. It would have to be an ace clutch, a 1v5 required of the Viper if he wants to win this out. And that Molly, I don't think it's going to be able to connect just quite. EMP close enough to be able to take it. And that is another round for Ohio Northern. They're starting to put things together.
They are, and it was an attempted clutch that was good there from Rennie that'll cut the economy at the knees from Ohio Northern. They should be able to get barely enough on the line here, and they will have the finances to get their rifles online. And look at this. EMP has 6,400 credits. There's a lot to work through if you're Ohio State Scarlet, especially with the lacking economy now. And with this op online, we're seeing the difference that it can make for Ohio Northern. I think that Paper Swan has died once since it's come up. In that previous, I think it was the round 5 where the op was first bought. Now I've only seen 1 death from Paper Swan since then. Ever since it's come online, it's been a nightmare for Ohio State Scarlet to do anything.
Yeah, he's not only been valuing his life incredibly well in just the rounds where he's up, but he's also been valuing that the economic potential that that op has and the potential that it has to really cause dominance on a round. Alsamon, though, double tap is going to fall. Ranny able to get the opening pick onto Flame, so it's going to cause a little bit more concern, a little bit more attention drawn towards that B main. But the movement from Secrets, I mean, he's going to be able to find this first onto Ranny, and that's now 4v4. Hamburger worried about the movement from Drask. Singularity able to find the 2 that were in Garage. OSU Scarlet 2v3. The pick on Singularity going to come through. Paper Swan tagged a little bit, but Bot able to get the flick onto EMP, and Paper Swan, he might be looking toward this a little bit more than we've seen him in previous rounds. But no, yeah, it is going to be the retake called off. Gonna really prioritize keeping that op alive, keeping the potential that it has in damage. OSU now taking 6 on this first half.
And when Ohio Northern has been winning, it's been off the back of this op, so it makes total sense to me why you would save this, why you would hold on to it just in case of other things, especially because Paper Swan able to keep a little bit of money in his back pocket, able to buy somebody else if they need it, if he can. And Ohio State, they are going to be up halfway, or half of the first half. Half of their attacking side has been claimed so far in this 4 more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of pressure that ONU was able to bring, especially in that match against Manchester and Pools. So we know that this attacking side, it's not something that they're shy of. It's not something that they're going to stave away from. But the side of OSU, they've been incredibly dominant and incredibly potent in their output on this first offensive side. Bot the movement able just to, you know, tank the shot in the legs. Paper Swan unable to find the pickup. And although Bot is low, Singularity low as well. Alsamon literally on 1 HP. Any extra bit of damage, it could be the end of him. Singularity might be looking to get a little bit aggressive out of this garage window. He is going to get picked off. EMP able to find the trade onto Ranny. This is still very doable for the side of ONU. 2 of these OSU Scarlet players in literally 1-tap range. But Waldy, he's going to be able to find one from this position. Secret's able to get the trade. 3v2 remains. Bob with that op, though, he'll be able to find the pick onto Flames. Hamburger finds the second, and it's OSU now up 7-2. A big, big performance coming out from them, and especially shutting down Paper Swan's operator.
Yeah, they claim it for themselves. It's a question now, do they even really want it? Might just throw it off the map if I'm going to be honest, but they are going to keep it. They are going to probably play for A now that they have it. That's where they're looking. That's where the Viper wall is set up, and Ohio Northern is going to know that the op is on the other side of things. Their money isn't good enough to match it. So they're going to have to play slow and steady and try to catch it off guard.
Yeah, they are going to be behind the pop of the tour de force. For that side of Paper Swan, he's going to be able to get down into this position. Instant pick onto Hamburger. Sharp shooting from the chamber. Puts OSU Scarlet at a disadvantage player-wise, but Balsamon with this lurk up through mid, they've been finding a lot of pressure on it because the side of ONU hasn't really been putting any sort of utility into it. Might be able to find one, but EMP on the look. They'll be able to spot the first crossing. Waldy, though, getting aggressive with this movement. Not something that EMP was directly ready for. Tries to slide into it. Vulnerable from Balsamon. It will connect, but it won't matter as EMP finds the head first. But the first return pick that OSU has been able to find onto Flames. This is an aggressive play from Waldy. Gonna stick it. Was heard by Paper Swan. I think aware that there could be a player close. Not opting to go for it. Paper Swan will be able to find the pick on the aggression. Now a 2v4 required if OSU wish to keep their prowess up. ONU prompted to potentially get their first round in return. Bot able to pick one off right before he dies. Randy unable to get the final shots onto EMP. Another round for ONU. And they're starting to put something on the board.
And this op has been reclaimed by Ohio Northern now. One more round, or two more rounds actually, in this first half as Ohio Northern can bring it up to 7-5. It'd be a nice place to be for them. I mean, that's got to be the goal at this point moving forward. There's enough money just about on these teams to get something resembling a full buy. Paper Swan holding on to that operator, looking to hold on to A to start off with, right? Has been going down into sewers fairly often with this op. Upon seeing the Vipers wall, though, just going to go down main.
Yeah, gonna change up that angle slightly. Try not to be quite as predictable. On the side of OSU, predictability hasn't stopped them yet. Flames with the dart on his body. That one unable to shake. So you're gonna be seen, you're gonna be spotted, you're gonna be finished by bot. EMP with the pick, but Secrets gets traded out by Waldy. Hamburger with the pick onto EMP. 2 left for ONU. It is just gonna be Singularity and Paper Swan. So whatever Singularity can find might be what starts the retake, but Paper Swan with this op up. If the past serves as a good predictor of the future, might be looking at a save for the side of ONU, especially if Singularity is unable to find anything. Randy gets the pick. Aware of the potential of a movement through garage window. Paper Swan able to find the pick onto Waldy. Could be a start of something.
Yeah, this time I'm actually going to fight it. But there's not enough time here, especially if Randy can get up from behind and get this kill, if it's even necessary here. As there's the crossfire and Hamburger able to claim it. The 8th round for Ohio State.
Yeah, able to close things out very confidently for these OSU players. Ohio Northern, they're going to have a fragmented buy here. Actually able to pull a lot more of it together than I might have initially anticipated, but 2 full rifles, a Guardian, a Spectre, and a Stinger is all that they really have to work with. Mostly full armor for everybody. Paper Swan on that regens could be a point of weakness. Otherwise, on the side of OSU, rifles and op, full armor across the board. They're looking primed for taking this 9-3.
The run-in here has the overdrive if needed. Balsamon with that double tap. It's not enough to protect from Paper Swan's fully automatic Wrath. And they will be able to get onto site in spite of the damage dealt, and they will get the plant Hamburger, dropping it down.
Yeah, it's the commitment, and that's going to be the Vipers pit used as well. They got tags onto it. It will come through, as well as the Aftershock pick onto bot. All that's left is Waldy and Hamburger. A little bit of aggression. Hamburger is going to be protected from aggression through shore. Waldy able to find one, but Singularity, yeah, just on that bomb. A little bit of a swarm from ONU, and that is going to be the round. Able to pick up 4 on their defensive half. We've seen them give teams a lot of trouble with that offense, so it's time to see if OSU is able to close this out, or ONU, they have the prowess, especially on that offense, to be able to force the map number 3.
I mean, Ohio State, we've been talking in the past about how good Manchester was on their pistols. Ohio State, I don't even know if they've lost a pistol up to now in this series. If they win this one, it gets them to double digits, nigh confirmed. And if they're able to convert like they did earlier on, it protects them into overtime with those round wins. If they're able to get it. Ohio Northern are playing for their tournament life now. Reminder, 1-0, best of 3, Ohio State Scarlet. They just need to win 5 rounds to end the tournament.
Yeah, and they are definitely looking poised to do that. Performances from the players, nothing short of stellar. EMP already down into this short position. Could decide to move forward. But so far, other than that initial movement, it grows quiet. Both the duelists of OSU move over.
C is where they're looking right now, Ohio Northern. The spike is over towards Garage Singularity. About to enter.
The issue is that you might be forced into Ranny, and he's been sharp in moments where it's required of him. Wall coming up as well, so you're going to be getting decayed as a combination to that. Movement into EMP. He's able to find a full 3 of those players forced in. Waldy, I mean, he's able to find the pick onto Paper Swan, but that's really not going to stop anything. That is ONU with the instant rotate over towards A. EMP already so deep into the defender's spawn. I don't think this is going to be expected by anybody. Waldy might not even need to expect it. Might just be able to circumvent it. The shot from EMP going to go wide. Waldy actually able to get the response. So will Ranny, and although Waldy is tagged low, the last 2 players of ONU forced into this site, forced into a corner to play for their lives. Waldy with big damage, a full 3 found. Singularity last up. It's going to be 2 of the controllers pitted against each other. Movement from Ranny isn't able to read where Singularity moves and plays. The pistol round for ONU picked up.
It was a great early round, almost the clutch from Waldy. I talked about before how, remember, it started off 0-3, I think 0-4 to start off this map, but has brought things back, right? As Ohio State Scarlet start to slip, Waldy's the one who picks it back up. You're fine with one of your players dying and not getting kills if the rest of you are doing all the work. Waldy comes in when the team starts to slag behind, but now Ohio Northern have won that pistol. They're going to get themselves a lot more safety looking at this 8-6.
Yeah, OSU, they went for a little bit of a buyback into this. So they've got some pistols, bought with the shotgun. They could try to make something work here. Oh, but Secrets, he's probably going to be able to find this first. Actually unable to hit the shot onto Hamburger. That might be a little bit more movement, but he's able to find the first onto Balsamon. Gets the spot onto Hamburger. Ooh, nice shot there as well. But Singularity going to be able to get the trade out. Paper Swan finds another onto Ranny.
Good use of the Bandit there. It's a gun. I don't even remember when this thing was added. It must have been very recent because I haven't seen it in a long time. Or ever, realistically.
Yeah, it is a very new addition to it. A lot of Flames with a nice little spam through. A lot of the players retained from CS kind of think about it similarly to a 5-7. Very up close potential to get kills with that one-tap headshot. But as soon as you get to those longer distances, not quite as useful. During my yapping about the Bandit, ONU able to pick up another round, but bring themselves up to 6-8. OSU still with the lead, but if ONU, if they're able to shut down this next bye, we could start to have a real conversation about ONU clawing themselves out of this hole.
Right, it's 3 in a row now for Ohio Northern, and one of those is a bonus. Don't get me wrong, but still, they have gotten quite far up to this point now for Ohio Northern. They're looking at getting 4 in a row. If they can match what Ohio State Scarlet did to start this game, that will bring it to 8-8. That will bring them into favorability.
Yeah, it would make the conversation about their potential output very real, but Waldy, like you said, one of those high-impact players, gonna step back up to the plate, finds the second onto EMP, finds the third onto Flames. This fight inside, Bot will be able to pick up Paper Swan, Randy picks up Singularity, but the big 3K from Waldy on the step-in.
And with those rifles in hand, they're able to clean things up. The plant still went down, so you're not going to be financeless on this coming round for Ohio Northern. They do get that little bit of a boost financially. 6-9 now on the score line. It's close, this one. It's still close. And reminder, just to keep everybody updated, this is Ohio Northern's map pick. This is one that they should feel comfortable on. This is one that they should feel confident on. And Ohio State, while they did play it yesterday as well, I don't think they looked as confident as they do now.
Yeah, it looks like a very different performance here on the map. OSU, full rifles, full armor, the side of ONU, gonna have that stinger in the mix. But still opting to go aggro. Looking to move through garage as we see the drone come through. EMP slow to follow it up. This Viper wall, it'll be dropping down. Gives more vision onto the site. The smoke in the middle will allow for a lot of play from Ranny, a lot of movement back between Plat and behind Big Box. For OSU, it's a little bit of a freeze. ONU getting a little bit more dug into the sand. Unable to really put things together, but that is bot finding one. EMP and Paper Swan, though, big responses on it. Singularity with the TP in. Should be going
They will
down
get it down eventually. Balsamon looking to come through garage, but will go through the attacker's side instead, or the defender's side.
Yeah, so he guesses it. Hamburger coming in potentially through garage. This 2v4 for OSU. It's going to be a very hard thing to get.
Show me a target.
Dart not going to be allowed to live much longer. Hamburger, though, getting the early pick onto EMP. Wall gets sent in. Secrets with the pick onto Alzamon. All left up to Hamburger. A 1v3 required. Able to get the first shot. Unable to find much more. Secrets with the instant shutdown. And that's ONU now. The good response. 7-9.
Still close. Still very close. Things are still looking good for Ohio Northern. They will have the financial advantage coming into this round, as well as the ultimates, right? They have that Neon ultimate. Regardless of if they've been using it or not, they have it. Now, as the attackers, they will have the ability to get some of these ult orbs online if they can get through without Ohio State Scarlet seeing them do so, right? And in particular, the thing that matters there is it's going to be this Hunter's Fury for Secrets.
Yeah, if he's able to get this up soon, it's going to be a very good post-plant position. Opts to drop the bomb, but Waldy, inside of that B site, has a good smoke positioned up. That drone, not going to spot him, and already shots from the other players, giving them an idea of how many people are in this position. But Rainey up close, Paper Swan with a very diligent clear. Finds the pick, and this Hunter's Fury from the side of OSU, unable to find really anything. They are starting to commit more into the idea of this C site. Paper Swan, not really tagged, still sitting healthy. Side of OSU, I mean, the only person that is full up is going to be your Sova. Both your players are going to go down. A 1v4 required of Hamburger if he is to take this. Gets stunned up, and this, I mean, this could be a save here. A 1v4 is a very tall task required, but he's been boxed in by the positions of ONU.
Yeah, I wonder if there would have been time to go around to attacking main, see long to try to go for, you know, some sort of play, but there just wouldn't have been enough time to just go for some heroic play if he wants to win the round. But upon reaching low HP, he's just going to leave and save that rifle.
Yeah, he's able to get the pick onto Secret, so it is going to force a rebuy out of that. It lets the ONU budget not necessarily get too out of control. It is going to start to snowball up here, as I believe that is good 2 in a row after that one loss. So rifles being held over. Going to start to be able to build up some sort of economy. The side of OSU, though, they're going to have to opt for these lower buys if they wish to stay competitive. But if this one is to drop, that's ONU. Again, equalizing that scoreline, making things very competitive.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would see, instead of some of these sheriffs, either full saves or going for the bandit if you want to go for something a little bit riskier. Right, I mean, the sheriff is the ultimate sort of light buy weapon here, so you can go for it, try to play for the clutch. Beautiful little lineup. Doesn't reveal anybody, though.
And it's going to give you that information that A is not the initial target, at least. Still a couple players over towards the B site. ready for if there does become a potential slam. And Waldy, yeah, that first shot with the Sheriff, able to get the early pick.
They don't know it yet, but C is completely opened up to Ohio Northern now.
Yeah, ONU committing a good amount of util to this. They know that it's what they want to go for. Secrets with the plant. He does have the Hunter's Fury online, so he's ready if they want to go for that finish. Waldy able to get the response, the trade frag for bot. Now a 4v3 for OSU. The lesser weaponry overall, but the higher player numbers. Hamburger finds one, but is traded out. 2 players in Garage. Ranny, all that is left with that Sheriff. Long road ahead if he wants to take this. He should at least be somewhat aware that both these players are playing in Garage. Able to dodge the blind, gets the tap to bait the peek and the Hunter's Fury out.
You're going to have to take that. You're going to have to be satiated with just an ultimate taken out, and 9-9. Shades of last map here, Emily, as yet again the scoreline is tied. It took Ohio Northern a lot of effort. 6 of the past 7 rounds have gone to Ohio Northern University. Yeah. Ohio State Scarlet, don't say it, have done so well in the first half to establish a lead, and now it has evaporated.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's, I think, really been the story of ONU. They've had very high prominence and very high prowess, especially on these offensive sides of the map. We saw it in that Manchester match, and ONU, they're going to be opting to go fast. The stall does not hit EMP, so the ult's going to stay up. Bot able to find the first. Now it's a little bit of a stall out for that side of ONU. Even though they went 1 for 1 and they've gotten all this A main space, they know that at least 1, if not 2 of the players on A main are some of those top performers. So things start to slow down as they wait outside this A main position, really looking to see if they want to go for this or if it is going to be the rotate call.
Looks like it might just be, I mean, with your Sova stuck in the corner here, it's tough, right? How do you rotate safely crossing this sight line without risking somebody else first? The smoke in 3 seconds, that's going to be what you're waiting for, most likely the first shot. Rolling Thunder sent forward, it does go through the sight, and no rotate, just run straight through the sight, and look at that, 2 kills collected very quick. Now it's a 2v4, almost gets a third, but Randy has the number.
Yeah, Randy been one of those high impact players, and now OSU, even though they're down in players, they do have some of those players that have been able to really show prowess and show prominence in some of the moments where they are most needed. The double into hell. I don't know if this is going to be read or expected.
They could try to Viper's Pit this. They can't anymore, but they could have. And now this looks like another round to Ohio Northern, and that it is. They have reclaimed the lead after round of fighting for it.
Yeah, able to pull ahead, and that is where the first of these timeouts coming out from OSU. Again, when we talk about this team structure with one of their coaches in the lineup as a substitute player, you know, they don't need as much time to really take a moment, recollect, and convene. But when you've thrown away the lead that they have had, really going to be a necessity that you are able to reset and center yourself for the rest of this map, because you definitely want to close this out in 2.
For sure. If you give the momentum away to Ohio Northern, things are going to get rough. And I have to say, when you're in the booth, when you're in the lobby, it can be a lot harder to coach, right? Yes, they have their coach in the battlefield. That might make it worse for these pauses, because instead of telling the players, setting them straight from an unbiased third party, right? Third-person perspective. Now it's somebody in the lobby. Now it's somebody experiencing their own grievances. Now it's going to be a frustration battle, and the coach has a side to pick. That can make, even if it's not conscious, even if it is subconscious, it can make things a lot harder for the team.
Yeah, it's definitely going to cause a little bit of an impact here, but I mean, even just having that 1 minute to just take a break from the match, kind of recenter yourselves, reset, and figure out, okay, how do you want to play these next couple of rounds? Because you're only a good 4 away from taking this whole thing. It's not that hard to just string those together, but on this lower buy, it is going to be looking a little bit dire if they want to do it starting here.
Bot barely saw the flash come through as a walk down on mid here for the players of Ohio Northern. Ohio State, they're starting to convene towards this B site, but I mean, Ohio Northern have no commitments here. They can just move over to Garage if they feel it's necessary.
Yeah, they're very willing just to call off the initial attack, shift over towards that secondary, well, not that secondary site, but to a
Plan B.
different site. Yeah, Plan B. And now, OSU, they're going to be able to have some nice positioning here. ONU might be favoring a little bit of a push into this CT position. The spot from Paper Swan could be pivotal, as he's going to be able to peek out, get the two. Rainy and Balsamon, though, each able to find one. It's going to be the alt pick. Secrets able to find one. Paper Swan gets the pick onto Balsamon. Yeah, and Waldy's left out high and dry. ONU now up to 11. 2 rounds away from closing out this map, forcing a decider.
All of the sudden, every single bit of momentum has swung towards Ohio Northern's side. Ohio State Scarlet have lost 5 in a row, and even though they're sitting on 3 ultimates, one of them barely ever gets used. One of them is hard to use on attack, and the third one is just not all that impactful in general, being that from the shadows. You're lacking on arguably your most important one, the Hunter's Fury, but in a composition like this, you don't have any of those instant win ults like the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, you don't have stuff to really cause fight, and EMP just gets the pick onto Balsamon. Bot's ready for a potential rotation if they do opt to do what they have been doing, which is show that early pressure onto B, and then show the rotation towards that Garage into C fight. And the positioning looks like it might not come through. Secrets with that Owl Drone looking towards A long. It will get the pick or the spot on Hamburger. That looks like the rotation called the final point, or the final point of this map, or this round, set in stone.
Slowly approach, and Ohio State have yet to catch on that this is the plan right now for Ohio Northern. Only the Omen sits on there, but the smoke, they're starting to get an idea as to what's going on here.
Yeah, Hamburger
Slowly
with this,
but surely. They're adding players.
Yeah, they are slowly rotating over. Hamburger in this close position. Looks like he's about to be challenged by 2. Secrets at the peak. Will find the first. Well, won't even be able to find the first. Hamburger, he'll be able to find the 2. And this is a nice defense. Bot able to find it with the Judge. Gets the swap onto the Vandal. And now ONU left in the 2v4.
The collection of composure has come back for Ohio State Scarlet 2v4. They do now have the spike, and they have a little bit of time, but they need to find some magical kills, and it's not to be as Hamburger, the coach in the lobby, has found a decent number of kills.
Yeah, he's found a big 4K there. Able to show up and show out here in this position now. And OSU, I mean, they haven't really sent ONU down. They haven't broken that money just yet, still with a couple more buys in the bank here for Ohio Northern, but starting to, pull back a discussion, starting to make it so that maybe they won't just be trounced over. Maybe they will have a little bit more fight left in this map.
I mean, at some point you gotta expect some of these ults to come online, right? They are sitting on quite a few by now. Waldy has found one, opening this one up, so you might not even want to consider ults. Maybe some for information, but they've been sitting on them for so long. From the shadows right now, could get some information, see if they're rotating, see if they're sticking around. But then again, I'm not in the lobby.
Yeah, they also have some good, positioning here from their players. Balsamon, he's gotten all the way up A long in this little cubby position. Could be facing into 2 soon enough. And if he drops, he is that only line of defense on A. He's able to find the first onto Singularity. For Swan, ooh. Oh, the bulletproof cover, able to come through and stop it. EMP trying to get in. Waldy will stop him. Last one up is Flames. And yeah, you're stuck in a 1v5. And now we talk about that momentum. Whatever ONU had, it's starting to get a little bit shaky here. Bot, with the wall bangs, able to pull things through. Tied up at 11 now. It's giving us shades of last map. It's making things super competitive.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 2 rounds that just came out of nowhere for Ohio State, right? The round before that, it was not looking great. They were struggling to keep up. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't even the round that they paused. It was the round after. A switch was flicked. And just out of nowhere, they caught up. They started to win things out. Coming into this pause now, Ohio Northern, they have some time to talk about things, ice out their opponents, and try to get things back into their control.
Yeah, I mean, ONU are the ones that called it, but when we saw the player cams early on the OSU side, I mean, there was some smiles, some fist bumps given towards it. Like, the vibes are definitely back, and what could have been a very frustrating series of rounds that ONU was able to gather, OSU, they've been able to flip the table, turn it around, and force ONU to be the ones who now have to battle back through some potential, mental problems where you felt like you had things such in the bag with a great string of rounds, able to force OSU down, but took that timeout, took that break, and now things are all tied up. 2 rounds away, one of these teams either wins or we are forced into OT where the stress really gets ramped up.
Nobody's making any definitive... I guess, I don't know why I was saying that. I didn't realize that the timer was still going on. I didn't get great sleep again. I'm kidding. Unable to get that dart with a shorty. Probably can, but didn't go for it.
Yeah, it does reveal some information for ONU, but OSU, I believe, also getting at least one trip off of, or one ping off of their dart, so definitely able to find some presence of their own. This is the first time that we've seen OSU really go for this aggress down middle, especially out of this B main position. Spot from Paper Swan, he is going to get shut down by Waldy, and Hamburger with a good follow-up. Unfortunately, that's going to leave the last 3 ONU players stuck to aggress only this A site. Bot in the close position. He hasn't been spotted out quite yet. He will get some damage, but Flames able to get the pick.
They brought along the spike as well. Rolling Thunder is going to punish 1 or 2 players, but they're able to evade the worst of the damage. Hamburger finds another, and look at this. It's a clean cleave through, and now one more round either means overtime or defeat in the match for Ohio Northern.
Yeah, and OSU, as we talked about, you could have had some questions about them coming into, especially the later stages of this map, but now you look at the finances, you look at what ONU has to work with. I mean, they've got rifles, but it's going to be a little scrappy here and there, mostly full armor, but with that light on Paper Swan, no ults to speak of, at least already on the board. Secrets, EMP, Paper Swan, all not super far from it. So they easily could be going for these moves, and Bot going for this aggressive positioning. Hamburger trying to be the bait, trying to get people to just focus on him, while the corner play out of the Neon will stay unknown. And
it's the Force. The Force 2, by the way, on C's site. The Viper Spit went down. I'm sure we all noticed this, but the positive for Ohio Northern about that is that it's a 4v3 at best, wherever they go for the other team.
Yeah, obviously hit not over here. Flames with a big 2 lineup there from Balzamon and Hamburger. That, I mean, it's going to be the bomb plant down on this A site. This looks like ONU pulling us into an OT position. Spam for Waldy in 2 positions. Not going to find anyone to connect on. Now that both the controllers are here, they can start to try and move. Stun gonna come through, as well as the flash. ONU don't want to let him out of this position. Just Util being dumped left and right. The Hunter's Fury unable to connect. Waldy will be able to find one. Paper Swan, though, getting a big 2 picks, and now we move into OT. These teams so evenly matched, able to force each other back and forth. And now we return to that attack side where OSU, they found a lot of their rounds. They found a lot of their pressure coming out. It's time to see if they're able to do it again.
And this has brought, naturally, Ohio Northern back into consideration, right? They had that 3 where they lost out to Ohio State, but they clutched up and brought it to overtime, obviously. Now, with the grounds neutralized, Paper Swan actually goes for the op here. A reminder, they are on defense to start off with this OT situation, and Paper Swan is actually going for will eventually find his way over to A site as the decision has been made.
Yeah, and OSU going to be going aggressive into this A site. The vulnerable, it finds secrets. He's going to get picked out by Balzamon, but Randy and Hamburger, they each find one. And Bot able to start to put deep onto the C site. He finds another Waldy as well. Last one up is Flames on that flank. Waldy able to collect it. OSU just one round away from taking Double Duel.
Fought for like 2 minutes to try to get back into even, and it took him about 12 seconds to neutralize. The moment Ohio State Scarlet hit that overtime situation, they brought it back and they slaughtered Ohio Northern. Now Ohio Northern on the attack, they have the opportunity to bring it back 1-1 and keep the match alive for their own sake.
Yeah, they're able to find a nice string of rounds there in the middle of the map. So it's time for them to show that same set of prowess again. It's looking like a very similar look this time, but Balzamon with an early aggression. Flames gets picked out, so does Brady fighting a big three.
Oh my god.
A massive performance there, stepping out of the garage, just laying down the law, and in the end, that is all that she wrote. OSU Scarlet not dropping a match, maybe a map to sussy players, but in the end, they'll be the ones to step up, and they take the title of Valorant champions here at Double Duel.
Yep, and they make about $525 for their troubles. Congratulations to Ohio State Scarlet. What an ending. The last 2 rounds, I think, lasted less time than the third to last round where Ohio Northern brought it to overtime. I think that individual round lasted less time just because of how quickly Ohio State were able to pick apart their opponents there. Look at this, 23-18 for Bot. The duelist undecided until recently after their coach, has to step in, who actually did quite a good job themselves, right? 21-16 on the Sova. Not bad from Hamburger stepping in, not a player, but a coach. I mean, I'm assuming a player as well, right? Most coaches in Valorant, I feel, are pretty decent players too.
I mean, they've definitely had at least some experience, knowledge on the game. Overall important. You get it from playing, you get it from coaching, it can come from all sides. But yeah, no, commiserations to ONU for a hard fought. I mean, listen, the stats don't show it. Like, a lot of those players, unfortunately, a little bit of an underperformance from them. But we saw this team throughout the entirety of the weekend put up really big numbers, put out big performances, and it's unfortunate to see the GLEC representation here at Double Duel just fall shy in the grand finals, but they've given us a great fight, a great set of maps to watch, some great storylines to talk about.
Yeah, it was so close, but ultimately Ohio State Esports Scarlet are the champions here. They didn't even get to that third map of Fracture. They got to Haven, though, so our producer, I'm sure, or our observer, rather, I'm sure, is loving that information. But congratulations to Ohio State Scarlet. Congratulations to Ohio Northern for taking that third place away from somebody else and getting into that top 2. But now that we have finished Valorant, we are going to be heading back over to Marvel Rivals. As a quick update on the bracket for everybody, the grand finals there is Scholars of the Game versus Shawnee State, a winner's semi rematch. We will be back later. Don't go anywhere.
We're back into it, everybody, and as per usual, we have an interview with one of the members of that winning team. First of all, congratulations on taking the event. Solid performance from you guys throughout the entire weekend. And I got to start out with asking specifically about today, because we got some what do you call it, like stats from the days before. And on that last on that pools day, we saw you on a lot of the smokes agents, putting up that impressive 40 against, I believe, ONU, specifically on Haven. Yesterday, we saw you on the Omen over on Lotus. So today, seeing you on that duelist, a little bit of a shakeup. What caused that change?
So our normally our duelist Waldy, he wasn't feeling too confident on yesterday, and then I was just having the performance of a lifetime today and yesterday. So they were like, we might as well try it out. We started doing it towards the end of yesterday as well, and we saw that it worked on a couple games and it felt really well. And so we were just like, if it's working, if it's broke, don't fix it. Ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fair
so
enough.
we kind of ran it today.
Fair enough. And so then just talking about the run from today, a 2-1 over Sussy players, dropping that first map, but then coming back with a vengeance. We saw the second map was a 13-3. Didn't get an exact score on that second one, but I assume similar performances.
Similar, yeah.
Was it just like dropping that first map and you guys are like, all right, we can't go out in quarters?
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of, it's the morning, we're just waking up. Everybody, weren't really thinking about playing yet. And then we just played that first map and we're like, man, got to lock in a little bit. And once we got there, we got there.
Yeah, I got to turn up the performance when things get a little bit hot.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I could ask, because you obviously have played a lot throughout this weekend, the 3 against Sussy players, the 2 against Ohio Northern now. Which map do you think individually tested you as a player the most throughout this whole weekend?
I think that Bind tested me the most as a player. It's a very complicated map to call specifically, which I do call most of the rounds. And so playing against a lot of these slower paced teams, like ONU was playing it really, really slow. And when they start playing it slow, they start making you question yourself. It really takes a lot of high level gameplay out of both teams to really perfect that. That's why we saw that game being so close, I think.
And so then one question actually jumping off of that, because that brings me a very interesting thing that I want to poke your brain about. Talk about the difference between IGLing on that duelist role and IGLing on that smokes, because I feel like there's got to be a big hierarchy change as far as how you approach like sight hits and whatnot.
Yeah, playing off that duelist, it kind of like as soon as that hit is starting, as soon as the plays are starting to be made, it immediately falls on somebody else. So I can't be as vocal at those points. Everybody on the team is super vocal, super energetic and passionate. So we do have people to pick it up and calling fights and doing everything together still. But it definitely shifts my personal focus when we're doing that. I can only kind of call slower plays when I'm not really faced with as much on-screen stuff.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. As I say, anything else from outside?
Yeah, I got one more question for you, sir. So going through this, you guys came through, won the whole thing. Congratulations, obviously. What are you guys' goals as a team? The school year, the semester is about to come down to a close in just a couple of months. What is you guys' goal as a team?
I know we still have like another LAN upcoming and we got a few more games left this semester. So I think our goal, the same as it's been since the beginning of the semester, we're here to keep improving and just learning more about not only just playing as a team in the game, but also just playing as a team as people and just kind of improving both in and out of the game while we still have our time here.
Yeah. Alrighty. Again, one more time, congratulations on taking that victory. Super fun to see all the performance from both you guys, but also every team that we've had here at Double Duel so far. We are actually going to cut to a short break this time. When we return, it'll be Marvel Rivals Grand Finals. Shawnee State bringing it all the way back from lowers bracket to get their revenge against Scholars of the Game, or will the mixed team be able to cement their dominance? We'll see you there.